Hello, my name is Uni, and welcome back to the KingKraft server. And I am near the bottom of my ocean base, and unfortunately, we've got a bit of a problem here. Now, before I say anything else, yes, we finally have a new microphone, and I am still adjusting the settings here. You will have noticed right away that there is a bit of a weird thing going on with the noise reducer. If I don't say anything, you don't hear anything, which is great. That's exactly what it's supposed to do. But I guess for some reason there's something going on. There's a bit of a hum when I'm talking, and that's probably because that's my computer fan. But hopefully I can tinker around a little bit more. But let me know what you think of the microphone. I can change the settings and I can move things around on it, adjust some scales and equalizer settings. But I am very fortunate to have the new microphone and will be using it for the rest of the foreseeable future. It's a Blue Yeti, if you're wondering. It's the very cheap but probably best for your buck sort of option. And I just wanted something that was better than that god-awful $40 microphone I had from back in 2014. I've been using that old microphone since I started making videos here, all the way back when I was still in high school. But anyways, so we're at the top of the base, and you can see we've gone pretty dang far here. Right where that beacon is, the one that's poking out, I'll go ahead and zoom in so you can see that. Right there is about where we had stopped, maybe 4 blocks below it on the time lapses. And the reason I had to stop was because when I was looking back and going down underneath my base, I noticed there were so many underwater caves that were underneath this entire place. And so I knew for a fact that I was going to have issues with the sponges here. Now here's the problem that I ran into, and that is if I just place a sponge, it all comes rushing back in, and there's no way for me to really do this without making little lines of blocks going across and then just placing sponges like that over and over again. So that works, but only a little bit. And I don't want to fill this thing up with sand because the way I did that back up here was very time consuming, and I don't want to have to deal with that. But if we go through this with the sponges and we take out layer by layer of water, eventually we do get to the bottom. It gets a lot easier down there. And I've already done a little bit of that work over here in order to access the deep slate, which is what we needed for today's project over by the Dragon Den. So in previous episodes, we have been working on the Dragon Hall over here, where BK had built out this big old slash mark in the mountain. And right at the entrance here is where the Dragon Hall is. And this thing is fantastic. I love it every time I walk through. I want to make a monument at the end of the hall, use some dragon heads from the end, and then make some sort of like kind of statue or something to commemorate the dragon that sleeps from below. And now off camera, I added these little ladder looking things with the old spruce signposts, the new ones that have been added from last update. But today I decided I wanted to work with a lot of the tough blocks because we do have that data pack that adds in the tough block variants. Of course, I've also added in the reflection down here to keep with the aesthetic of the floor. But if we zoom our way up into here, there is a secret cave that leads to the backside of the dragon here. Now here is the front side of BK's dragon that he had made for us, and it is as fantastic as you could ever think. Now, if we wanted to see how would we walk in to this dragon and see it from a distance, well, that would be at the entrance here, where I've already started working on a bit of a block palette with all the greens and the grays with the tough block. You can see there I've been doing a lot of work with the new variants, of course, and we're going to be blending it into the deep slate up on the ceiling here. So I think we're going to do a bit of a time lapse here in just a second, but the idea is that we're going to be making the roof of this entire cavern out of the deep slate, and then it'll transition down into the tough blocks. That's why these are here, because they're not quite at the ceiling. This is where it will be more of deep slate than tough, but it'll go down into the tough, and then it'll sort of wrap down and under, and it'll get covered up with all the gold that I'm going to be adding in here. And there's going to be huge piles throughout this entire cave. I've got to also work on this cave entrance here, make it look like this right there. I want this to be flyable as well. I want to be able to just like take a rocket and get out of here like that, nice and easy. and be able to go in and out and check out the dragon, see how it's sleeping and in its slumber. And then you'll just be able to fly through here and get out this way as well. I gotta get rid of all these vines too. But you know what? I think it's time we start doing our big old time lapse for today's episode, because this is gonna be a lot of work on all the gold and things that we need to put in here. And then eventually we'll have ourselves a complete dragon den. Piles and piles of gold, baby. Hell yeah, dude. We have so much of it here, and I have so many things that have been happening in this area. We have lots going on the cavern walls. Let's go ahead and take a peek-see at this here. So, first of all, we have the main detail of all the tough blocks surrounding everything in here. They have the dragon nestled up in the corner, of course, and then up above him, right where the smoke is coming out of his little nozzies, we have this huge area of smoke that has stained the entire ceiling above him, and that is to create a feeling of realism here in order to show that all that smoke had gathered, it had stained the wall, and it kind of escaped out this way. I want to add more of the blackstone here, coming out over here, so you can tell that the dragon itself isn't asphyxiated while it lies down, because the smoke is going out this way. There's a nice little cross breeze between here over there, which I haven't really worked on this. I'll think about something in the future, because if you look over here, you'll notice there's a bit of an issue. We have all this open cavern on the other side, a completely different vibe to what we have going on in the layer here, but this will eventually be smoothed out. I'm not sure, but the cross breeze goes through here, kind of how I'm flying, and then pushes all the smoke out this exit. And oh my god, I'm so silly. I always have my volume off every single time. That's because I keep going to the gold farm in order to get more gold, and all those pigmen keep making noise. But I went ahead and got a lot of gold, and I've been going through here and placing a few randomly throughout the area in order to create a nice pile of gold. Like I had said in previous episodes, I wanted to surround his tail, make it look like it was sunk into the ground and covered up by all that gold he is lying in, because this man has all his riches amongst him. But now let's talk about the floor. So the floor is entirely made of deep slate and a bunch of cobbled deep slate, but the cobbled deep slate is in areas between the piles of gold, which of course I am going to detail these piles later on in the future. I gotta get a bunch of bells, and those are very, very expensive. I don't know if you know this, but they're only sold by villagers, and they cost like 30 emeralds each. So I have a plan. I'm getting emeralds from my shop right now, and that should help me out. But the cobbled deep slate here is in between each pile, and it acts as like this sort of cave-in sort of feature. So right here, a bunch of this stuff, rubble and all that, fell down and fell to the floor here, and it's scattered. There's more over this way. You can see it kind of wraps around all the stalactites and stalagmites. Silly me, I have my alarm going off. That was for a time lapse earlier. Oh man, but yeah, you can see they're wrapping around all the stalagmites at the base of the cave here. And you'll notice on this side, we have a little more going on from here over to here. And so I'm going to try, oh my God, I keep having I got to take this thing off. My goodness. I want to keep adding more of these little tiny cave details, because you never really think about it too much when you're walking around a Minecraft cave like a normal one. but there are lots of features of caves that are missing from that. So I wanted to add that in here. I might even put a bit more into this area between the stalagmite over here, maybe more right there. And then the backside, of course, is completely, let's just say I haven't really put much effort into this part of the build at all here. Although, to be fair, no one's coming back here, at least no one except me. So I'm going to also have to do a bit of work up above him where we have, oh my God, where is this guy at? Yeah, right over here. I got to actually make more of a cave entrance here in order to get back down to the dragon hall. But as you can see right here, I have the ability to go right down into it. And let's go ahead and put this back on because I forgot. I had done something over the past couple days, and that is I added these little end crystals here. I wanted to add movement to the area, and so I've reflected it, of course. And then we're going to put some dragon heads here. I got to go around and look for some. I think I might have one sitting around somewhere, but for now, I believe we can say that the cave and the dragon's den, the dragon hall, they're about 80% done here. And I think that's a good stopping point for a while. But we want to go check around Spawn a little bit, see what people have been up to and whatnot. All right, so what do we got over here? This looks like something that Platty has made. I think that is who has this shop running right now. Oh my God, I thought people were online for a second. Oh my God. Whoa, that messed with my head for a second. Okay, well, here's Mikey. Here's Michael. And then M.I. Call. Yeah, there we go. As I like to say, Mikael. But let's see, what do these guys got going on? Literally nothing. Okay, what's over here? Nothing. And nothing. Okay, so I understand that this is some sort of shop, and oh, that looks like employee access only. I am not authorized to go down there. I believe this is some sort of consulting thing. Let me go consult the Discord real quick. Okay, I have context now, finally. So, I believe, to start off, Mikey here. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm so blind. Oh my God, I didn't even look above them. Okay, so Mikey here, of course, he's the terraforming expert. Michael over here is the koi pond expert. And then M.I. Call is the shop expert here. Wow. Holy cow. This is a little embarrassing. Usually I am very attentive to detail. I love having signs for things. I love, posting signage, making sure people know and read things. And I always complain at work that people don't read the signs that we have posted. But God bless America, I am part of the problem here. Okay, so yes, that is what's happening. These guys are here to terraform or build for you. So I might actually, maybe make an order one day, perhaps. I might want to terraform around my caves to the dragon den. Who knows? Now, I've also been very curious as to who has built this, but I always fly by it to get over to the places I need to go. And I love the design of it. And that is a watchtower. Okay, whoopsies. Here's the main entrance. There we go. So far, oh, okay, we have a bit of... Oh, wow, that's actually pretty sweet. I think it is an upside down, like, skeleton of some sort that is, like, kind of a mantelpiece, but it's on the ceiling. Okay. I don't know what it is, but I can tell that it's like a rib cage, and then it just spans across there. And, ooh, okay, yeah, this is pretty cool. I am a sucker for bridges across to other buildings. That is awesome. Okay. I got to figure out who built this, because so far, ooh, that's empty. So far, I love this, and I hope that it gets filled out more. I think this is like an archive right here. That's pretty cool. All right, let's keep this. Oh, what is this? UHC records. Oh, okay. So this is the UHC building. Okay, I think BK built this. I'm pretty sure. If not, someone correct me from the server. I am failing to see where the signs are, and of course, I just talked about how I'm trying to find what people are making and based off of what their signs say. But there's no signs, or at least I can't see them. So please help me out here. Make it more obvious so I can find who is building stuff, because I have such a hard time of figuring out who is building what. Okay, so let's go ahead and check back up on the mega base here. When we had first started the episode, I had done a lot of work trying to dig down into it. And I don't want to quite spoil yet what I've gotten to so far, but let's go ahead and take a nice little honk shoe moment over here and then peer down into the bottom. Now, how far do you think I've gotten? Place your bets. What Y level do you think I'm at? And oh, whoopsies, forgot about those guys. Well, here we go. Let's see what we got so far. We have gone all the way down to Y level 3 here. Look at that. Oh my God. Woo. And I can tell you now, all that water is still below me somewhere. You can hear it. It's sloshing around just below my feet. In fact, I think if I were to... Yep, there it is. I still have so much to do. Oh, but I've gotten through the majority of it, at least from what I can tell. And I think this is for the sponges that I was using. Yeah. Oh, hello. Where'd you come from? That is concerning. But anyways, let's go ahead and fly out of here because I want to go back to the Dragon Den, of course. We will save this for next episode over here in the Mega Base. And the last thing I want to do is I want to beautify the entrance to the Dragon Den over here, as well as do a little bit more detail on the inside for all the stalagmites, I believe, and the stalactites on the ceiling here. I want to add in all those new variations of the tough block so that we can make it look like the entrance over here. Yeah, so check this out. I want my stalagmites and stalactites to look more like this. And as I was doing the time lapse, I was mostly focusing on trying to just build the shape of them, get them going and stuff. And then maybe I'll add in a few more. I know I want to add some that are broken off here because the dragon's been going in and out. Maybe I'll add another to the floor somewhere that's broken. But for now, I've got a lot of them that need tips and smoothing out with the stairs and slabs. Let's go behind the dragon's eyeball here and then come back out in just a second. So here we go. And now we've got a little bit more detail in the stalactites and stalagmites, as well as our cave-in areas here where we have a bunch of stairs and slabs to help give it a little more slope and detail. And of course, we got a bit more of an entranceway here with a lot more moss now so that it feels more like it's actually having some sort of weathering going on and the lichen is growing in and the moss is taking over a bit on this side as well, just to match the entrance over here. And while this hasn't changed much, I am growing out all of this glowberry stuff, the hanging vines, in order to create more alternative light sources instead of the torches. I do want to place more of these shroom lights everywhere underneath a lot of the carpets below there, the moss carpets in particular. But I want to get rid of all the torches because I use them temporarily to light up the cave, but I want to have it be more naturally lit. So I'm going to try to do that over time, cultivate all these glow vines and see if I can get a lot more going in terms of a more natural light setting for our den here. Now, the last thing to go over before we end off, of course, I do need to remind BK that all his stuff is still over here and he needs to pick it up. Otherwise, it's going to get covered up and lost forever. So BK, if you're watching this, your stuff is still here. I don't want you to lose it there. But over here in the corner, I have been experimenting with a little bit of how the gold should look. The only reason I am experimenting is because, one, I don't have enough gold still. I actually need physical gold ore instead of the gold ingots in order to make these blocks. And I might even add in a few more yellow terracotta throughout here because that looks pretty good as well. And of course, the aforementioned bells, those things are going to be impossible to get, but we will try our best. But for now, we can go ahead and get to the top of our gold stacks and take a nice little peek out on everything that we've done so far. We have a very good array of the den here, and it's looking a lot more filled out than it used to be, that's for sure. And I definitely love the added features of the custom stalagmites and stalactites here. All right, so this is what I want it to feel like when you fly around. Is there is this cool little cavern off to the side of the mountain face here. And as you fly in, boom, you're hit with the dragon sleeping right there in the corner. And my God, I love the look from afar across the way in order to see that little guy. Well, not quite little, but this dude sleeping away and getting his slumber in. In fact, there we go. We got a nice little end off here with that guy off to my left, your right. But with that being said, my name is Uni. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. I am jogging it out. Make sure to leave the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And I will see you guys next time.